Hi, I'm Tom Kraeuter.
And I'm Nick Coetzee.
I'm Grant Norsworthy. This is Worship Think Tank.
Well, it looks like we have a question from Daphne, Alabama.
All right, let's check it
Let's
out.
have a listen. Yeah.
Hey guys, my name is Harley Rowell. I'm the worship leader at Destiny Church in Daphne, Alabama. And I wanted to ask, when you are leading a congregation in worship through songs, what are some of the things that you would say to help them engage more fully?
Yeah, it's a good question, isn't it?
Great question.
It is.
Wow, but we'd have to recognize that there's probably some situations where we've all heard things said between songs that we have felt were inappropriate.
Absolutely.
Maybe we should talk about those first. You know, what about hey, I've got to retune my guitar and change capo, so would you pray between the songs, like a performance-y prayer so I can sort this out?
Sure.
Yeah, what have you heard, Tom?
Well, I was, as he was talking, I was thinking about a worship leader that I heard years ago who had been listening to his son, and he recognized that he needed to change how he interacted with the congregation. And the song, I'll date it, obviously, but the son he's like 4 years old or something. He's walking around the house going, "This is the day, come on, this is the day, come on."
Oh, the cheerleader leader.
And you can't beat the congregation into
Give us a
worship.
J,
Exactly.
Give us an E.
Here we go.
Yeah.
So that's a definite out. You don't want to beat the congregation. You don't want to shove them forward, if you will.
Hey, just to be a little transparent here, I went through a period when I was leading congregations like that. I would always say the next line before we sang. I'd say over the microphone the words of the chorus or the words of the verse, and I realized that I just defaulted to that, and it was kind of good to do sometimes, but not all the time, right?
I think that actually can be helpful, especially if it's like the slides and which slide we're going to. They've got a little bit of spontaneity in what you're doing, making sure that the projectionist knows what's happening next, just to help them out. Right. That can be helpful, but like you said, you don't want to do it all the time. Right? Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
I agree with you that there's times that you can preempt the line, especially when you're not sticking to the arrangement. And I think if we just get to this default of what we always do and not really find new words that really describe God. And what I'll often say, and I've said for years, is a worship leader's role is to speak to God on behalf of the people, not to drive the congregation like you put the Ark of the Covenant on a cart and drive it, but rather just carry the Ark on your shoulders as the Levitical priesthood. And that means you're there really bringing people and connecting people to God. And so those words need to be coming out of an overflow of your relationship with the Lord in front of the people. But to introduce a song just because there's this pregnant pause between two songs and you don't know what to say, so let me introduce the song with a prayer, can often be very clinical. And I've said a song leader introduces a song, whereas a worship leader introduces the Lord. So it's knowing when...
Say that again, Nick. That's beautiful. Say it again.
A song leader introduces a song and say, well, this next song, we're really going to worship the Lord. And there's this sort of sense of, well, now we're going to see how the song, see if it takes me into worship. Whereas a worship leader really brings the song and let the words of the song lift people up, rather than say, well, raise your hands to the Lord now. Let's just let the words of the song be the wind beneath the wings of the song to take people and connect them to God.
That's good.
And Harley's really asking us, what do we say? That's how I understood his question. And
right.
I really love to read the people I'm in front of. I think we've got to realize that there are many different cultures within the Christian faith, and let's celebrate the diversity. Some groups of people, some church congregations, and the leadership of that church congregation want people out there with a microphone and a guitar and a capo saying a lot of stuff. But I tell you what, most people who are also preaching, they want very little said. So you got to default to the leadership of your church and the I guess the style and the flavour of what's going on there. So I'll go to a pretty straight up and down Presbyterian congregation and not say a single thing, except maybe let's sing together. It's something really simple. It's good to have a couple of Bible verses memorized that especially are about singing together. But probably my favourite thing to say, if I feel like the congregation are ready for it, I love to say this. Hey, we have noticed that we're standing on a platform that's higher than you. I'm speaking to the congregation. You've got comfortable seats. We've got more light on us. We've got microphones. You don't. There are lots of things about this situation that could subconsciously lull you into the sense that you're an audience at a concert, and something that would subconsciously lull us into the thought that we are performing for you. But that is not the case.
Good point.
We are here to invite you to join the band, be the choir, and sing together, recognizing that God is the audience. He is the object of our praise. These songs are prayers to Him. Please don't wait for us to play the right song. Please don't wait
Great
for us
point.
to play it well enough. Just join the band and sing with us. And that was kind of a long version of it, but different shortened, lengthened versions. Harley, that's what I love to say to a congregation.
Great point.
Yeah, I know for me it is a matter of, all right, when we start, we're kind of gathering people together, and I might be talking more to them, but the further along in the service that we go, the more I'm pointing them to God. And so I'm probably at that point just praying and letting them listen in. I'm not talking to them, I'm praying to God and letting them hear what I'm saying, just to keep that focus on Him.
Yeah, good stuff.
Excellent, Tom. Really good. I hope that answered your question, Harley. I think it's an ongoing thing, and I think that just making sure that you're just overflowing out of a heart of worship. How about that?
And one more thing I would say too about this is, like, we can easily fall into patterns of, well, I better say this because I've heard that other person say it when they were leading, or I heard the people from that band that I really admire saying it. Don't do stuff because you think it should be done. Really seek after the Lord. Sense the culture of your people, that you're called to lead, and speak that what's natural and beautiful and flows out of there.